On my ELDX versus partition episode 3, you basically saw the partition had really good standard deviation and extreme spread, but it had a pretty bad flyer on that group, and so I want to try to tighten the group up. So I've got 5 3-shot groups ready to go, each one with a different seating depth, trying to discover the node. If I can find an accuracy node, if I can get it where the group tightens up, then I'll be happy. So let's see what happens. During that test, when it comes to the accuracy and velocity testing, the Hornady ELDX shot a 3-shot group in one hole. You can go back and watch it. Extreme spread and standard deviation was pretty good. The Nosler had a 2-shot or a 3-shot group with 2 close together, and 1 was a flyer. But it had a very good standard deviation and extreme spread. So I'm going to show you here on this first group. That one is not what I just did. That's a different group. Those two, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's a 3-shot group. That looks shockingly like the group from last time. 2 right next to each other, 1 flew off to the left quite a bit. Now, this is the same exact seating depth as the last time. I just simply dropped the grain weight by half on all of these because I had signs of pressure. So everything I'm shooting today has a half less grain. But I have 5 different 3-shot loads that I'm gonna have at 5 different seating depths, try and figure out an accuracy node. But that looks exactly like the 3-shot group from last time, which makes sense because it's the same seating depth. So let's see if the next seating depth shows a difference. Even though I lowered the powder by half grain, still getting signs of pressure. It's the same signs I got last time. I feel like it's because it's like 70 some degrees out here, so I'm not extremely worried about it, but I am monitoring it. Oh boy, check out this group. All right, so that's 3-inch group, and all I did was change the seating depth by 3 thousandths. So let's go to the next one. All right, barrel is scalding hot. Ammo seems hot, so I'm stopping. I'm gonna let everything cool down. I'm actually sitting under a canopy and a shade at the moment. I'm just gonna let things cool off, and we'll start over once it cools down. Definitely don't want it to get overheated, and we don't want to screw up the test results. All right, okay, so yeah, it sucks. I'll just tell you the first group is about 2 inches. Not terrible. Those 2 were the first 2. That's about a 3-inch group. That's about 2.5-inch group. But yes, it's been pretty consistent. You know, you've got 2 close and then a flyer, 2 relatively close and then a flyer, 2 relatively close and then a flyer. I can tell you first, second, third shot though. So far, not good. So I'm gonna go back to the shade and I'll talk to you there. All right, well, I'm waiting on the gun to cool off and the bullets. Give about 20 minutes again, try to be consistent. So started at 20 thousandths from the lands, and in that 3-shot group in part 3 of ELDX versus partition, had 1 pretty bad flyer. The standard deviation was really good, so I thought, what the heck, let's just shoot 5 different groups with 5 different seating depths and see what happens. I either need to do a lot of seating depth testing, I mean a lot, or maybe go way like 50 thousandths away from the lands or some big drastic move, or the partitions are just not going to be accurate out of my gun. So let's see what happens with these last 2 groups. All right, a little improvement. 1.5 inch group, maybe a little more than that. Let's just say, let's say an 1 3/4 group. So not good at all, but better than the other groups. This is probably, like I said, 2-inch, 3-inch, 2.5, a little under 2 inches. So it's got back down to that 2 inches. So hey, that's something. So the overall picture so far is that the extreme spread is getting worse. Once again, extreme spread standard deviation was really good at the beginning. Extreme spread has just slowly gotten worse, or at least it got worse, and then it stayed the same, and then it got worse again on that last group. So group wise, it's went from 2 inches, and this is not, I haven't got the calipers after, but basically 2 inches, 3 inches, 2.5 inch, and 3/4. So it immediately got much worse, and it's slowly getting better. I've been letting the barrel cool like 20 minutes in between every string, and got the bullets over here in the shade too. So it went from 3 inches to 2 inches to 1 inch and 3/4. That's good, right? That is something to be happy about. However, the beginning group was 2 inches. So far, nothing's really improved that much. In fact, and for whatever reason, the extreme spread is just getting bigger. Haven't calculated the standard deviation yet. The average is basically consistent, which it should be, because it's not, the powder's not changing. Powder's the same. And so the average muzzle velocity is basically the same every 3-shot group. But the extreme spread is getting worse. So here's what it comes down to. I've got 3 bullets left, and this is the furthest away from the lands of all the 3-shot groups I've got. About 35 thousandths off the lands. I started at 20 thousandths off, and I've had 5 groups getting 3 thousandths further each time. So this will be like 35 thousandths off the lands. Now, if the extreme spread continues to be far out like this, as far as I'm concerned, I'm done. I'm just going to go back to the original load and forget about it. And then I've got a semi-accurate, consistent load as far as standard deviation. If the group is the same, it's maybe 1.5 inch. I mean, I guess I should keep going down by 3. You could even drop down by like 10 until you really start to find something, but it just sounds like a lot of money and a lot of time, which I don't have either one. So unless this last group, the extreme spread just really goes back to where it was, and the standard deviation, and the group tightens up a lot, probably just going to say, you know what, just go back to 20 thousandths and forget it. So let's check that out now. What do you know? Not bad. It's about 1 inch group. It might be 1 1/4 group. I will measure it with the calipers when I get home. But best group of the day. Extreme spread came back down to 15. The best was the original at these two, and that one was 13. Came back down to 15. Average muzzle velocity actually was slightly better than any other one as far as just going up. It was 29.75, and you got 1 inch group there. So I'll leave it up to you in the comments. Think I should continue to work this up, see if I can get even better, or should I just leave it alone? All right, this is the last cartridge I have left that's ready to go. With it's primed and everything. It's 100% ready. Just got to drop the powder charge in there and put the bullet in there, and the die is already set with the right seating depth, so be super easy. And then I'll have a prototype for the next go around, because I've got a lot of brass prep and cleaning to do. These are all shot out. Also probably need to find some more reloader 22 and partitions. I'm getting low on both of those, but I'm gonna have the prototype shortly. Now, if you're saying, dude, you got to do more testing, you've barely scratched the surface, and you could probably get a better group if you did more testing, you're 100% right. But just too much time, too much money. I think 1 inch group with the partitions is fine. It's never going to be my extremely long range, cartridge. So I'm good with an extreme spread of 15, and I'll put the standard deviation on the screen now. Average muzzle velocity of 29.75 and 1 inch group at 100 yards. Pretty happy with that. Hope you've had a great day, and until next time, take care.